Welcome to another episode of Stow Nation, a production of Park Media. Before I introduce today's guest, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share, and leave a 5-star review. And if you find this podcast useful in any way and want to pay us the ultimate compliment, head on over to our Patreon page where you can subscribe to be a classic, stealth, or beast mode subscriber. Welcome back to another episode of Stow Nation. On this episode, I sit down with Eric Didier, the owner and founder of Terra Wagon. But before we begin, I need to let you know that if you're watching the YouTube version, the camera stopped recording for whatever reason toward the last quarter of our conversation. However, the audio is still unaffected. That being said, Eric talks about why he started making fender flares, his interesting story on how he got his big break, some products he's working on for the Ford Transit, and even his newest product, the Sprinter Snorkel. It was a lot of fun talking to Eric, so I know you'll enjoy it too. So sit back, relax, and please welcome Eric Didier to the Stow Nation family. Yeah, exactly. Because like the movies and like any professional set, they always record separately for the audio. Yeah, and so when you see the boom mics and everything, that's how they sync up everything, is by that clap, and then
Right.
why it has the seconds and whatnot on there.
Yeah.
I'm not that fancy, but
You can start. You got the clap down.
yeah, no, I need one. I want one of those.
You need a slap board.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it? Is it a slap board?
Oh, I have no idea, actually. That's a good question. I've never really looked into that. But
GTS.
GTS?
Google that shit.
What is it?
What? I don't know. That's why I say GTS. Google that shit.
Oh, it's the acronym. I
yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good acronym. I like
Yeah.
that.
You haven't heard that one yet? Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it a company? What does it do? No.
What is Google? Yeah.
All right, you ready?
What is Google? Yeah.
Yeah. How do you pronounce your last name?
DDA.
DDA?
It's a French name. Yeah.
Okay. Because I saw your signature and I was like, Eric DDA?
DDA.
It sounds like two acronyms. Okay.
That was my nickname in high school, was DDA.
Really?
Yeah, everybody called you DDA because it was easy to say DDA.
Okay.
It's actually DDA.
Oh, DDA. Gotcha.
Just like Perrier or
Oh, okay.
DDA is it's a first name in France, or it's a French first name, but we have it as a last name. So most of the times you'll see DDA as, like John or Bill or Peter. DDA is a first name.
Interesting.
So it's kind of like I'm like Eric Peter or Eric, someone else's
The man
first
with
name.
two first names.
There you go.
That's pretty funny. That's good to know. Okay, I'm glad I asked because I would have butchered that in the video or in the podcast. So
A lot of people add an L in there somewhere, and I don't know how they... Diddler. I get that one a lot.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, you ready?
I thought we were already going.
Oh, I mean, technically we're recording, but I mean, I could put this in the podcast. I think some people would think it's funny.
Sure. Yeah.
I've always been told that I need to do like the non-podcast
The
episode.
outtakes.
Yeah, or just like off-air stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. Just compile a bunch of like randomness and like, okay, you ready? Let's do this.
Yeah. Keeps them tuned in.
Yeah. Well, it's like a good little. I would say it's a good eye opener for those that don't know what goes into making a podcast. So behind the scenes kind of stuff. Yeah.
I'm fascinated with this whole process because I've always thought that I could do this.
Oh, really?
And I've never done this. So seeing it from you firsthand, it's an eye opener. So
Yeah.
first timer here, I've never done a podcast.
Really?
Never.
Oh, wow.
No.
Yay, Stow Nation.
I know. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. That's awesome. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Like you have this is obviously a professional recorder, professional mics. And then if you just do an audio podcast, that's all you need, really.
Yeah.
And then it's like you do post-production, put it on the hosting, site and then upload it and you put it on all the different, platforms out there and then that's it. But I do the YouTube version, so because my whole intent, but when I started this, is that I really wanted people to be able to meet other people in the community because like on Facebook, people don't even have like their real photo up there. Like I don't personally,
Right.
and so you don't really know what that person looks like. So when you're on the podcast, it's like, oh, okay, that's what they look like, and this is what they actually sound like, and
Right.
et cetera, et cetera.
Sometimes in the podcast, though, it's nice to imagine, right? Like it's radio. It's like you get that opportunity, like reading a book, where you paint the picture that's being drawn for you. It's the same
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Because growing up, listened to radio a bunch, and then I'd actually like when the internet came along. It's like, oh, that's what you look like. That was way
That's
off.
what Howard Stern looks like.
I know. I was like, ugh.
Disappointment.
Yeah, he got all the ladies. How? Like, ugh. It's like, okay, but no, I mean that's a good point.
But yeah, having both is actually
Yeah.
it's a different.
What's
different thing.
interesting is like since I've been doing this is that some people just watch the YouTube version, period. Because like a lot of people that work from home, they'll put it on YouTube and put it in the background, and it's a lot easier because they'll go
Right.
through those computer speakers versus the people that listen to the audio version. They're usually driving or doing chores or something.
That's
so.
me right there. At long drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, podcasts.
Yep.
All the way.
Which ones do you listen to?
Some of my favorites. This American Life, which is it's kind of the staple, right?
Yeah.
You've got How I Built This.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. There's one with Allie Ward. What the hell does she call that thing? Trying to remember. But her podcast is really good.
Okay.
Man, it's on the tip of my tongue. Just
What's it about? Is it just general life stuff or?
can I look at my phone? I'll tell
Yeah,
you
sure.
what it is. But yeah, she does this podcast where she basically goes into detail on everything. And so if you have an interest in any subject, you can basically, she'll like show you what the heck is going on with my phone. Yeah, continue. Yeah, it's called Ologies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with Allie Ward.
Never heard of it. I'll have to check it
Yeah,
out.
you have to check that one out. It's really good. Radio Labs, another one. Freakonomics, TED Talks, all that stuff.
Have you heard of Reply All?
No.
That's an interesting one.
Is it?
So the episode that got me hooked was the one where these two guys got an email scam from like Nigeria or like wherever, right? And so they're like, we want to find out who this person is. And so it's like the entire story broken up in multiple episodes of these two tracking down this guy in India where the offices that they work out of move like on a daily basis because they know they're scamming people, so they always have to be on the move. It's really interesting. So after that, I just got hooked. So
Yeah. Sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
Reply All.
yeah,
I'll check
Reply
that
All.
one out.
Yeah, but anyways,
Moving on.
yeah. Eric, thanks for coming on to Stonation. I appreciate it.
Welcome to Terrawagen.
Yeah, we are in Portland on the north side. So if anyone wants to stop by, I can put the address in.
Yeah.
Well, wait, I should probably ask, are people welcome to drop by?
They are, and
Okay.
they do.
Okay.
Our first day here, unannounced, people showed up.
Really?
Yeah.
You got some fanboys out there, huh?
Yeah, basically, it's kind of odd. Like our first day, we had a drop in, and it was kind of from Instagram. Hey, we heard that you guys just moved to this location, and we're here to check it out. Can we buy stuff? And we don't turn anybody away.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make sure I put the new address in the show notes if they want to stop by. That's cool.
Yeah.
But so you gave me a tour of your. How many square foot is this building?
This new building is 27,000 square
Oh my
feet.
God.
It's it's a little bit more.
Redonkulous.
We bit off quite a bit.
Yeah, but it's really cool because you have the room to expand, and then you said you're leasing parts of the building out to help with the payments and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's really cool that you're able to get a cool building like this. And from my understanding, you're making it all kosher and prettying it up and
Yeah, so it's kind of a work in progress. This building was built in 1963 by the original owners that we purchased the building from.
Mm-hmm.
And they had not modified it since 63. So what you see on the walls and the paneling and the paint and everything is from 63.
Was there shag carpet?
There was shag carpet in places. Yes. A lot of that got ripped out. But yeah, so we're trying to clean it up and make it ready for accepting customers. We have a showroom. We're working on it every day. We'll get there. But eventually the idea is that we'll have brick and mortar as well as our online presence to accept customers. So this can be a destination for you if you're traveling up and down the I-5 corridor. Just stop in. It's
That'd
a
be
thing.
sweet.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of custom van builders in this area too.
There
so.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're just part of that group, that collective of people that, just make this thing.
It's pretty cool. So business is good, but so there's a lot of people that are picking up their storytellers in the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
So they're probably new to like the van life or the RV lifestyle and whatnot, and they don't really know what accessories they should or shouldn't get and stuff like that. So if anybody out there that's listening, they've never heard of Terra Wagon, do you want to give like a quick like history of how you guys started
The
and
synopsis.
and like what
sure.
you guys offer and stuff like that?
Yeah. So 2010. This is what we're talking 11 years ago. A friend of mine and I decided that we needed to make fender flares for Volkswagen Vanagons, and it's kind of a niche market. There was a forum online called the Samba, and at that time, there was a lot of people talking about producing this part, and we got together and we just put our heads down and said, "Hey, what's it going to take to make this happen?" We found the right people. We didn't have any money because we're both working day jobs. And we crowdsourced the project kind of internally on the forum.
Nice.
This is before crowdfunding had, officially the GoFundMe craze thing, right? And we basically promised 100 people that they would get their product if they invested, some money into the project. And we showed them progress as we went. And we did eventually make the product. We made a fender flare kit for the Vanagon. We started out with just the fronts because we couldn't do all four at the time. And we didn't, it was kind of like, whoa, that's way too far out.
Yeah.
And so we promised everybody that we would do also the rear kit if they just held on, and that would be phase 2. So, proof of concept was, hey, let's get this front fender flare kit done. Everybody got their kit, the 100 kits sold, and then the money that we made, quickly invested into tooling for the rears. And after that, it turned into, a 4-piece kit, and the rest is history. It just started rolling from there. But, our fan base started with Vanagon people. And that's, these guys are passionate about vans and modifying their vans. But, super thankful for those guys and, where it took us. And this is, that's our beginning was
That's crazy.
crowdfunded, didn't have a penny. I mean,
Yeah. Did you ever think you'd be this far in a 27,000 square foot building when you started back then?
never in a million years. I honestly didn't think that project would turn into anything else. But, by 2014, we had dabbled into other products for Vanagon. So we made a light project. We did, we called it Terrapods, and Terrapods did really well. And we had all this money to invest into another project. And I kept looking at Sprinters. And I said, man, the Sprinter is missing a front fender flare. It has a rear fender flare. This is the Sprinter, what do we call that? It's a 906 Sprinter, right? So anything from 2007 and up. And we saw that it needed something. And we just said, hey, why don't we just give this a shot, right? How could it can't hurt.
Yeah.
So we made the first part for 906 Sprinter, and it just sold really well.
Wow.
And then we made a hood spoiler for the 2014 and up. That sold really well. And then, we got into the good graces with Mercedes, and Mercedes shared CAD with us.
What's CAD?
Computer aided data, or people are going to hate me for that. I think I just screwed that up.
It's okay.
It's basically all the 3D images of.
So it's like the template of the fender.
Yeah, so
okay.
it's basically we in CAD. It's computer aided design, I think is what it is.
Okay.
So it's basically the digital build of the van, right? So this basically allows us to do in-house design of all our parts so that they fit perfectly.
Wow.
Mercedes at the time wasn't sharing the data with everybody. You had to be a certified upfitter, which we were not.
Yeah.
We were guys making parts for sprinters. We weren't by any means. Their criteria was you had to have a repair shop, you had to have a lift, you had to have X amount of employees, and you had to be on the radar. We weren't on the radar, but and this is an interesting story. So in 2015, after we developed the first sprinter parts, I took a 3-week vacation from my day job, and I said, hey, I'm going to go up and down the West Coast of the United States and hit every single Mercedes dealership and see if I can generate some interest in the product, right? And so I think it was late April of 2015. I loaded up my van with product, and I started heading south. Stopped in Medford, stopped in Reading, stopped in Sacramento, Fairfield, Oakland, right?
Wow.
Every dealership that I hit, I would talk to their sales force, their parts managers, and just say, hey, what do you guys think about this stuff? And basically nobody got it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
At that time, you had salespeople that most of the salespeople, I don't know, they're not car guys. And they just don't get it. They don't get the accessories market. They're just selling cars. And so I started to realize that my marketing strategy in the beginning was kind of skewed. But this is what was happening. As I talked to all these dealers, the story that I kept getting was, hey, you should be going to Las Vegas. There's a launch of the 4x4 Sprinter in Las Vegas in sometime in the middle of May. And I said, that's only 2 weeks away. I'm still on this 3-week journey.
Oh.
Why don't I go hit Las Vegas? Right? So here I am, van load of stuff. I drive to Las Vegas. I didn't know where the venue was. Had no idea. And started calling around. One of the dealership guys gave me a flyer, which kind of told me where the hotel was. And I showed up at the hotel. The hotel was booked because it was full of dealership employees. And so I got a room across the street at another hotel. And I started to see vans show up in the parking lot. And it was a sponsored event from Mercedes-Benz, right? And I didn't have a pass to get in. But I was there. And I just started walking around during the setup, and I found a woman that was the head of the show. And I approached her and I said, hey, listen, I'm not in the show, but if you need any help at all in setting up the show, I'll do whatever. Hand out flyers, set up tables, move vans around. You name it, I'm your man. Right. And so I offered free labor for her. And she thought about it for 5 minutes. She turned around as I was walking away and she said, hey, Eric, can you help this guy kind of park the van so that they're all perfectly, situated? And I said, hey, I can do that. And she saw how hard I was working. I was putting water bottles out. I was moving tables around. Right. And she comes up to me. She goes, hey, is that your van over on the street? And I said, yeah. Matter of fact, it is. I had a 2015 van that I had wrapped in Terrawagen.
Oh, okay.
It was orange. It was a silver van. We wrapped it in orange. It said Terrawagen all over it. Had all the products on it. And she said, hey, is that your van over there on the street? We had one cancellation. Would you like to bring your van into the show? We'll give you a table and you can set up. And, and I thought, you know what? Yeah, let's do this, right? So I brought my van in, free setup. The dealers, I was in front of everybody now, and I was in front of all the official upfitters. So now Mercedes took notice that I was on the radar. And this was the catalyst for us getting the relationship with Mercedes-Benz. And, the rest is basically history. It's like after that, we ask for the CAD for the 907 Sprinter, no questions asked. They just give it to us.
Nice.
And we're able to develop parts that help them in turn sell vans.
Oh, yeah. That's a really unique story. That's so cool that you basically went in there and was like, hey, didn't announce like who you were, that you were a Terrawagen.
Yeah.
You're just like, hey, I'll just help you out.
It just, sometimes you just have to take that chance and don't take no for an answer, like.
Well, that was a really clever way, because I think anyone else would go in there and introduce themselves as like, I'm so-and-so with whatever.
Yep.
And I'm just trying to like do whatever. But you didn't even do that. You're just like, hey, I'm Joe Smo. You need help? I'm your man.
Yep. Yeah.
That's pretty clever. I like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It works sometimes.
And then that launched you. So that's pretty cool.
It did. I mean, so it was that moment in time that kind of put Terrawagen as a brand, kind of out there. Especially, in front of Mercedes. And that was kind of my idea, was to sell. Initially, I wanted to sell product directly to Mercedes-Benz. And we've been in contact with them many, many times, especially the European division, trying to figure out a way that we could sell our products in dealerships. But it's very difficult.
Really?
They're really proud of their vans, and they really don't want to put other things on it. But that didn't close the door completely for us. The market's there.
Yeah.
There's no denying.
Yeah. I mean,
like, people have vans and they want stuff.
There's a spider that is literally, I was watching it crawl on the mic, and then it just decided to descend down. I was like, well.
You can see that spider.
Yeah. See, no podcast is ever the same. I just murdered an innocent spider.
Oh, murder. There's murder and mayhem.
Sometimes I feel like spiders are meant to be murdered, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I mean, why else would you have an irrational fear on spiders?
Spiders.
Anyways.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, they're gross. But it's because I just got out. I was telling you, I spent 4 days up in the high mountains getting away from this heat.
So you brought the spiders with you.
Yeah. Oh no,
they're trying to escape also. They get in your van.
I know. I have the AC going. Well, I woke up 2 mornings. One, a spider was literally like right here, just dangling in like my face, and it was huge. It was like this big, and I literally almost shit my pants. I was like, oh my God, what do I do? And then the next morning, there's a little guy, but he was like more up in the corner, but he started like coming down because he was building his web. And I was like, oh no, not in my house.
Not in my house. Not in my mobile house.
I know, right? I was like, nope. And I was like, I was talking to a friend. I was like, yeah, I think they're like making babies in my van too, which is cool.
Yeah, making babies in the van down by the river.
Yeah, apparently. But what sucks is like they got into like my podcast case.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to I think I'm just going to fumigate everything. But anyways, a little sidetrack, but sorry.
Yeah.
Different rabbit hole on that one. But so you started small, got your big break, and now business is booming like everyone knows for the van life, basically, or sprinter life and whatnot. So with that being said, with all that growth, you must have like some reoccurring questions that people always ask.
Reoccurring questions. Yeah, there's so the problem right now that we have is product development. because we're so busy trying to fulfill orders that our time is really, we're really split. Like we have to do some serious time management. But we are working on new projects all the time. We've got new projects launching. So right now, a lot of people are asking, where is the 907 snorkel? And let me tell you, it's right. It's here. It's now. It's going to be here any day. And we've got the instruction sheets already made. Our hardware kits are done. We're working on packaging. Once that's finished, the launch is here. So many people are asking for this thing.
Really?
Yeah, it's an insane product that people are just going to go crazy for.
Is it? That just helps keep the water out of the intake, right?
That's so the idea that most people kind of assimilate with a snorkel is that, it's for going underwater, right?
Yeah.
Because when you're swimming, you're snorkeling.
Yeah.
It's kind of your airline above the water. But a snorkel for a vehicle like a van, for a Sprinter specifically, it's for clean air. And what we're doing, instead of getting air down low in the grill, we're moving our intake higher so that if you're following somebody on a dusty road, that you're pulling air from up high. So not necessarily for fording rivers because of the height of a Sprinter and where the snorkel is, it's 9 feet high. Like the van would float way before you even got to the point of water intrusion. So we need to change people's idea on what a snorkel is used for. It's for clean air. It's not for fording rivers.
I want one already.
Yeah, no, it's a great thing. So we sell the snorkel and what we call a pre-filter. And the pre-filter is what does most of the work. So the pre-filter has a fan in it. And as the engine is sucking air down the snorkel tube, it creates, or it makes the fan spin. And when the fan spins, it actually ejects the dust even before it can get into your engine.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
It's really cool.
How much is that?
So the snorkel,
Yeah.
we don't have a price yet, but
okay.
it's coming soon.
Okay.
The pre-filter, I think right now is $259, $269.
Okay.
And that's like an add-on. So normally when you buy your snorkel, you get a forward-facing intake, and that works great.
Okay.
You still have your air filter. You're going to get clean air up high. But if you're going to take it to the next level, pre-filter.
Okay.
It just ejects the dust before it even gets in.
Wow. That's really cool.
Yep.
Man, I really want one. I had no idea.
Yeah.
What else do you guys offer?
A lot of our stuff is for protection. So it's protection things for your van. So we're protecting the lead edge of your hood with our hood spoiler. We're protecting your fenders with our fender armor. Our number one seller right now is the Mondo Mudguard, which is a product that allows you to put a larger tire and wheel package on your van. So if you're that guy that wants a larger footprint, bigger tire on your van, then this is the product that you guys need.
Okay.
It gives you an additional 2.5 to 3 inches of
wow.
clearance
Really?
to be able to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you, Mercedes, for making a smaller wheel opening on the 907 Sprinter. It's made Terra Wagon very wealthy. Well, not really wealthy, but able to stay in business and produce more cool stuff.
I mean, you got to put food on the table and pay the mortgage and all that. So real estate is not cheap these days.
No, it isn't.
So you offer the protection, the snorkel, and I think when I first met you at the Van Expo, you had like this window thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it did. Or...
Yeah. So we make a product called the Bug Barrier.
Okay.
And it's an all-weather vent that goes into the opening of the driver and the passenger door window. It basically slides into and fits inside the gap where the glass fits.
Okay.
And you basically roll your window into the bottom slot, and it seals that opening and just leaves 2 vents that are screened so that your spiders don't get in.
Oh, I needed
And,
that.
Yeah, you totally need that. You can drive with it, although we don't recommend it for insurance reasons.
Right.
But it does provide some kind of shade. So a lot of people have figured that out. That, okay, so your sun visor only covers so much, and it's like super high, so it really doesn't do a job, especially if you're not super tall. Like if you're over 6 feet, I think it might work.
Yeah.
But if you're way under 6 feet and you try to move your sun visor over,
Yeah. My sun visor does not do anything.
it doesn't give you any shade unless the sun's really, really high. But most of the time when you're driving, let's say northbound on I-5 and the sun's just coming right to the side of your face, you need something, right? That works really well. The other thing is with the all-weather vents that we put on this thing, sideways rain, snow, whatever,
Oh, wow.
stays dry in your van, and you get ventilation.
Wow. I remember when I was doing van life in Seattle, especially during the winter, I'd wake up and my windshield would be completely like dewy and wet.
Misted,
And
yeah.
I feel like those would probably fix that problem.
Probably, yeah.
Man, I wish I knew about you back then.
Condensation, yeah.
Yeah, condensation. That's the scientific term.
Yeah. Yeah.
But okay, that's cool. What else do you offer?
We sell a OEM Mercedes sliding window. So we import these directly from Germany. And it's a Mercedes sliding window. Quality is like super, super high. Fit and finish is what you would expect from Mercedes. That product we sell exclusively. We also, because so many people, we've been selling that window probably since 2016. And so many people just approached us and said, hey, we love the window, but it doesn't have a screen. And so because of that, we created a screen for that window. And now we've got the window and it's got screens. We are also a dealer for Scheelman seats.
What's that?
So Scheelman is it's a German company, and they make an orthopedic driver seat.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll let you sit in the seats that we have in
Okay.
our test van.
Sweet.
Basically, it's a really well-built seat that is orthopedically adjustable for your body.
Really? And you do that?
We install them here. We sell them here.
What's the process to get one of those?
You take a look at the seat. You decide if you want one, sit in one. Our showroom will have seats in it eventually when we get there. But if you have any interest in that, we've got vans here that have those seats, and you can try them out.
Sweet.
Scheelman is here in Portland. The distributor is.
Okay.
Good friend of mine, Toby Pond. You can buy direct from him, or you can come to us. We do the installations for Scheelman here. So they're 100% adjustable for whatever height you are and whatever size you are. So we can make the seats sit low. We can make them sit high, whatever you want.
Wow. Fully customizable
Fully
seat.
customizable
And it's
seat.
orthopedic?
That's
rated?
better than the factory seats.
Wow.
Way better.
I want that too.
Yeah, yeah. But they're not cheap because they're German.
Oh. Well, how much like ballpark are we talking?
Yeah, you're around $2,600 per seat.
Okay, I don't want it anymore. No, I'm
Yeah,
just joking.
no, you do.
No, I have really bad back problems, so
There you go.
any amount is like worth it. So
Yeah, they have the lumbar. They have so the Vario seat from Scheelman has adjustable side bolsters. We have the ability to add 2 armrests to a seat.
Ooh.
So that gives you additional comfort, right? So you get it instead of just having an armrest in the center, you get one on the
Yeah, because
by
when
the
I
door
drive,
side.
I'm just like leaning over like this.
Yeah, so like the armrest on the door panel isn't,
Yeah.
it's hard plastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get another armrest. You get an adjustable seat base. So depending on how long your legs,
Oh,
you can adjust the seat base.
what?
Yeah.
This is sick.
I know.
I need this in my life right now.
I know.
Holy cow, that's
Yeah,
so
if you
awesome.
drive a lot, it's definitely worth it. Everybody that buys these seats just raves about them after,
Yeah.
it's a huge investment, yeah. But in the long term, I mean, what's your back worth?
Yeah. Well, you said the keyword investment.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And it's not like, so we had talked about this before the podcast about money in vans
yeah.
and people buying and selling vans and putting good components in vans and getting their money back after they sell the vans. This is one of those things that I don't think takes away value of a van. If you go to resell it, actually it makes it worth more.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's an investment, right?
Heck yeah.
It's a
Had-
patio in your house. It's a swimming pool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Other than really sweet seats, what else do you guys?
We're also the dealers we're an actual certified installation center for Smart Floor.
What's that? Well, I mean, I know what
So
smart floors.
yeah, Smart Floor is a product from RRE Global,
Okay.
and so if you're building a van and you want to put seats in the van that won't fly in an accident, they won't come off the floor in a rollover or anything like that. They're basically crash tested. It's a crash tested flooring system that allows you to mount a seat to an L track that's bonded to the van. And in order to be an installer for that stuff, you have to be certified through RRE Global. But you can add as many tracks to the floor as you want. The idea is for van builders or DIY guys to start with the floor and then build their van out. That way it kind of it's the foundation of, building your van.
Gotcha.
But we do that here too. So we can work with customers on their preferred layout. We do the installation and then they take it from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
You guys do so much more than I thought. It's
A little
crazy.
bit. Yeah.
What else do you guys do?
We do put the windows in here too.
Really?
Yeah. Well, so
Wow.
we're trying to set up kind of an install center. So any of the products that we endorse or we sell here at the shop, we'll install.
Cool.
So if you're in town and you need seats installed or you want a floor or any of the products that we manufacture here at our location, we can install.
Oh, wow. Way cool.
Which is a segue into the next question.
Which is?
Where are our products made?
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
yeah.
See, you're the host of Stonation now. You're a perfect fit.
Yeah, there you go.
You should be a co-host for that.
Yeah, because we talked about this before.
No, but yeah. Well, one of the things, and it's even popped its head up in the Facebook group, the Storyteller Facebook group, is people commenting about the expense and the prices, and they feel like it's unfair in regards to. A lot of people feel like people are taking advantage of the market right now. I kind of look at it as it's supply and demand, but a lot of people don't, and they think people are paying thousands for like one accessory, and they don't understand what's going on. And I'm sure
Yeah.
you probably get some of that backlash too. So,
We do.
but everything you were telling me earlier, everything that you make for the fenders and all that is in-house, right?
Right.
You want to go into detail about that?
Yeah, so in-house design, in-house tool making, in-house production. We buy our raw materials right here in the United States. We make everything in-house. We have a thermoformer. We have American labor. We buy American boxes. Everything we do is, made in USA. It's not cheap to do it, but I feel it's the smart thing to do because I've got control over it. So we don't have issues with quality because we have our hands in it. I can monitor that. So, you can rest assured if you buy a product from us that, 6 guys have actually had their hands on it and looked at it and made sure that it was a good part even before it gets boxed and sent to the consumer or put on a van. So yeah, it's quality. It's, American materials and American labor.
Yeah, and with everything being American, I mean, some people want the minimum wage to be $15 an hour. So if you have to pay that, then, that's more expense. And so I think a lot of people don't understand how expensive it is to actually build something in America.
It's not cheap to
Yeah.
do it the right way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of overhead. There's a lot of bureaucracy. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
We won't go there, but rest assured that 99% of our products are made here, right here in this building. And
what's not made here?
there's a couple of things that we import. Those like the windows from Germany. They're actually not made in Germany. They're made in Czechoslovakia. No, not Czechoslovakia. They're made in Hungary.
Really?
Yeah, for Mercedes-Benz, but they're European.
Yeah.
There's just a handful of small little items that are.
Yeah. So anything that has like a plastic mold to it, you build in-house.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, any of the exterior products that you can put on your van are made right here.
Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Not a lot of companies can say that, so
Yeah.
yeah. So if you had a choice to be able to go overseas and be able to provide a cheaper price to the consumer, would you opt for that or
I don't think so.
no?
I don't think so because it takes that part away, right? It takes the being able to oversee the process. It takes that part away, and you can't always get quality parts, and so you have to make do with what you get. Or I mean, I tried this before with another product that I gave it a shot. But I found out quickly that it's not the route that I wanted to take. Was we had a product made overseas, brought it in, quality was garbage. We ended up spending more time trying to fix it than we made. So it was quick decision.
Right.
Make it in house, way better.
Yeah. Well, that being said, do you offer a warranty on your products or what do you do? Yeah. Is it lifetime?
I wish I could say it's lifetime. So normally we'll do so. Our process is that we give you a 30-day return, no questions asked. But after that, it's kind of a 12-month against workmanship and quality. So if anything happens to your product in a 12-month period, we easily replace it. We've replaced products very little, like not very much. People put these things on their van. It's a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the people that buy like the Fender or do you call them guards?
Fender Armor.
Fender Armor. Thank
Yeah.
you. Is it an easy install or
Super easy.
what do you need
Yeah.
in regards to that?
No tools required. It's just a good eye and steady hands.
Okay.
Instructions are we've got videos on our website. We've
Okay,
got
perfect.
instructions in the box.
Okay.
Kind of outlines how to do it.
Okay. So everything is pretty. So for like the layman who doesn't know anything about any mechanical or anything like that, like even I could do something like that.
Totally.
Sweet.
Easy.
Okay.
Yeah. Everything's super easy. Yeah. I love simplicity and I love simple design that actually is functional. And that's what our parts are, right? They're simple and they're functional and they have more than one purpose, right? Number one purpose is to make the van look better. But what the parts really do is protect. So protection is number one. And that's what we're trying to do with our parts.
Right.
Is help your van survive, off-road conditions or, rock chips to the front of the hood or door dings in a shopping center, whatever it is. That's what the stuff is for.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where do you guys see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah. Good question. We're still going to be here.
Yeah.
Got a 30-year mortgage on a new building. Yeah, we're 30 days in, and man, it's overwhelming the size of the building. But 5 years from now, wow. Hopefully, the van life craze is still booming. That's not going to burst and fizzle out and die. I'm banking on that right now. We're going to try to develop as many cool projects and products for this space as we possibly can. We're working on some new ideas for other van builders right now on some of the interior pieces.
Oh, cool.
So with our ability to make parts and to form things, we've got a whole list of van upfitters that are asking for specific interior finish pieces. And so that's kind of our next area of expertise is we're going to go into that space and kind of it's also for DIYers too. So like if you're a DIY guy and you're building your own van and there's a couple of areas inside a van that are really hard to kind of make the interior finish pieces meet, right? There's the part behind the headliner, they call it the cheese wedge. There's a formed piece that's above the slider door. Those little pieces we're gonna try and make a kit for that make it easier for anybody that wants a nice finished interior van to have pieces for or parts for.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you considered doing the fender armor on the Ford chassis?
Yeah. Actually, we have a Ford Transit here in the shop for R&D.
Okay.
We have an all-wheel drive 2021 Ford Transit that's here specifically for that project.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
you might have seen it back there. It's a big white van.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Yeah,
It's
you have
in
a
the-
lot of vehicles actually in this building, but it's pretty cool. You have
Yeah. No, we've so we did manage to get CAD from Ford directly.
Oh, nice.
And we've developed actually some parts for Transit already. So we have a hood spoiler for Ford Transit. We've got a bug barrier for Ford Transit. And we're working on enlarging the wheel opening for Ford Transit and also providing a snorkel for that vehicle also. So all those things are in the works for Transit owners because this isn't just a Sprinter world, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
There's a
but
lot
yeah.
of people that buy the Transit, and yeah, it's a good vehicle.
It is actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you thought about trying to upfit all the Amazon vans out there?
We did actually.
How'd that go?
So here's if you see an Amazon van in the Portland area driving around with Terrawagen product on it, it's because we put it on there for free.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Wow.
In hopes that they would notice it and possibly buy it for their fleet, but that hasn't happened.
Oh, okay.
So anytime a new Sprinter or Transit Amazon van shows up either at the shop or our previous location, we would say, "Hey, you got a minute? Can we put this on your van?" And most of the drivers are like, yeah, it's not my van.
Yeah.
You
I
can
don't
do
wanna
it."
get fired.
Yeah. "I don't want to get fired. You can do it, but," and then we would exchange, cards and
Yeah.
never get a call.
Oh, that sucks.
It's all right. I mean, every time I see the vans and they're driving around, I'm like, "Hey, there's the one."
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, if you're watching this,
Yeah,
listening,
if you're watching this.
yeah, that'd be really cool though. I mean, that's a huge market in itself.
And that kind of leads into the excitement of seeing your product on vans, right? So in the early days in 2015, 2016, you'd be driving down the highway and all of a sudden you would see a van. "Hey, look, it's got fender armor on it." And everybody in the van would just get, "Ah!" It would be crazy, right? We would just go gaga, or somebody would call up and say, "Hey, I was at this car show," or "I was driving down the highway and I saw your product." And, nowadays we still get that feeling. It's
Yeah.
like anytime I see a van with my product on it, I'm excited.
That's got to be the best feeling ever.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea. It's like, "Hey, look, I made some cool stuff," and people are buying into it and they love it, right? We get great feedback. The last Van Expo was just amazing.
Oh, the one in Hooded River?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people were fantastic. The feedback was amazing.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So, out of the 11 years that you've been in business, what's the one thing that you've learned personally?
Learned personally.
Yeah.
Wow. Growth is hard. Running a business is not easy. But being a first timer at all this, it gives you an opportunity to grow. I'm learning about doing this stuff on a daily basis, right? I've never had employees. I don't know how to pay them, right? All these things, these are new things, right? And I actually enjoy the experience. I mean, I come to work and it doesn't feel like work. This is fun to me, engaging with people, like yourself or anybody that comes over to the shop and wants to talk about cars, vans, anything. It's just fun, right? And so, I don't know, it's not a burden. It's enlightening. It's learning. It's like continuing an education that maybe I didn't go to college. Maybe this is real. It's really happening. And I'm thankful for this every day. And I'm thankful for everybody that is helping support what I do, because I wouldn't be here without the thousands of people out there that actually appreciate what we do here.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's a never-ending learning curve for you.
It is. Like today we're learning about podcasting.
Yeah, right?
And YouTubing.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time, Eric. I know you're a busy man, but I do like to close out my podcast with the famous Stonation question.
Yeah, what's that?
And that is, what does it mean to you to be part of the Stonation community?
I'm honored, actually. So I'm honored to be in this space. I'm honored that people appreciate quality and smart products. I just hope that we can continue to do this for a long time, because there's a lot of stuff that we can do. But yeah, basically super honored that you came by, super honored that this is all happening. And let's keep it up.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the great work and the quality control and quality of products. And, also I respect small businesses in regards to helping out the local economy and stuff. So
Yeah.
definitely. But I appreciate your time, like I said, and you've been a wonderful guest.
Thanks for having me.
Your first podcast, yay.
Yay. Knock that out of the park.
Yeah, right? You did, actually. Good job.
I don't know. We'll see.
Stonation is a production of Park Media. The executive producer is Younghwa Kim. The audio engineer is
Stephen Grasso.
The marketing director is
Guillaume Golsong.
The original music and artist is done by
Jason Walsmith.
The sound designer is
Lorenzo Interiano.
And the webmaster is
Peng Shi.
Without any of these people, this podcast couldn't happen, so a big, huge thank you. And a big, huge thank you to you, the listener. If you like this episode, please don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a 5-star review. This is Younghwa with Stonation, and I can't wait to share the road with you.